Hello friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video, I am going to be doing a project planning video with you guys, working with the Kindness Story Kit. So this is the kit that Tashi and I will be working to crush throughout the month of January 2021. So this is the beginning of Story Kit Crush for the current year, and I am so excited to dive back into this project. If this is your first time hearing about Story Kit Crush, the whole premise is to pick one kit that is in your stash and to pull it out and tell as many stories as you can with it, trying to use up the whole thing throughout the course of a month. So in 2020, I want to say that we crushed maybe 8 or 9, maybe even 10. It might have been 10 story kits. So I have a whole library of Story Kit Crush projects that you can go back and look at. You do not have to use kindness, but if you would like to use kindness, then you can work on these stories right alongside of us. Otherwise, just pick whatever kit you do have and try to get that crushed throughout this month. So in today's video, I am going to first show you some of the projects that I have already created with this particular kit, and then we are going to get all of this product out, and I am going to determine different stories that I can tell using the product that I have left. So before we get into this portion, let me just show you what I do already have done. So one of the projects that I did for Story Kit Crush, or actually not for Story Kit Crush, but a project that I did just with this kit was this one right here, which is a Random Acts of Kindness 12 by 12 page. Now the way that this works, and you can see that we've only actually done one of them, so this would be a great challenge for our family to do this month. So I'm going to see if we can't get that done. But what this project is these are all sewn, and I believe these came in the main kit. These are all sewn on 3 of the 4 sides so that they each become a pocket. Then within the pocket, there is a random act of kindness to have somebody in the family do. The premise for this for me was to do this with the kids, but really it's a whole family sort of thing. So each of these little pockets holds a random act of kindness that we can pull out and do. And then this page in and of itself, I just put on our fridge until it is all filled out, and then it will go with the rest of my 12 by 12 pages, which I don't have a ton of them, but you know, every once in a while I do like to make one. So that was one of the first projects I did with this kit. The next 2 that I did one for my son and one for my daughter. So they are the exact same spread, done a little bit differently, but the story is basically the same. So let me pull those out, see if I can get them where you can see them both. So what I did is I wrote a letter to each of my children. So I've got one for Jonah and one for Izzy. Now these were both done with the digital kit. So this was before I got the physical kit in the mail. So I've got Jonah's letter over here. I've got a transparency with a quote on the transparency itself. There you can see it. And then I've got a picture for his. I've got a picture of the 2 kids like licking the glass front door, which I thought was just a really funny picture of the 2 of them. So the letter for this one is just writing a letter about why kindness is a virtue in our family. So that is Jonah's. And then Izzy's, I did the same thing with the letter as the full page, and then I did a 2 by 2 pocket with a bunch of black and white pictures of her and her brother, and then used some of the digital elements to create the other pockets in here. So these are the 3 stories that I already have done with this particular kit, and I do have process videos for, I believe, all of them. So I will make sure to go ahead and link those down in the description box for you in case you want to check these ones out. So that leaves me with what I have here, which are most of the journaling cards, because those, like I said, I did digitally before I got the cards in. So I don't think I've used any of the cards. So I've got the 4x6s and the 3x4s. I've got the label stickers here that I can use for a story. I also have the story stamp and the acrylic piece, some of the tiny phrase stickers, and then a ton of the embellishments. So what we're going to do is I am going to put some of this to the side, and we're just going to get started putting together some stories about kindness. Okay, so let's get started with this project planning stuff. Now, on my desk here, the very first thing that I see that I immediately know I want to try to do something with are those label stickers. Now, a while back, and I will mention this again, but a while back, I did a spread in my One Little Word album. I want to say it was in my 2019 album, where I took a picture of like a headshot of myself and then put a bunch of those label stickers all the way around me with, like words of encouragement, words of love, and stuff like that written inside of those labels. And I want to do something like that again, but to do maybe affirmations or something along those lines. So I set that to the side for now. And I also thought that the kindness acrylic would go really nicely with a spread like that. So, I'm just going to pull over one of my planning sheets just so I can start to jot down the story ideas as I'm going through this. And that one I just wrote, "Be kind to yourself," thinking that that was a good like title theme for that type of project. So now I'm just going through my journaling cards and finding ones that I could pair with this. So I could add a little bit of additional journaling or some more color or whatnot to the opposite side of the spread. Because I'm thinking the photo, I'll do a full page photo in my 6x8 album. The next card that I pulled out there says "An Unexpected Kindness," and I thought that that would be perfect for telling the story of a random act of kindness that I was the recipient of. So for now, I just have that one set up there, and I will go back through and find some additional cards that I could potentially put with it. Then I have another little card up there in the corner that just has the word May on it. May is my niece who was born in the beginning of September. And this year I am officially starting on her baby album. So I'm going to do a 3x8 baby album for her where I've got just a couple of different spreads that I will do for each month of her first year. So I always tell a story for each of my own children with all of the story kits I get. So I'm going to add an additional story for May using these story kits as well. So the one that I picked out for her says, "My heart is so full." And then I picked out a quote and I figured I could put those two 3x4 cards alongside a photo and then have my sister-in-law send me a little bit of journaling about why her daughter makes her heart feel full, because I know it does. So that is that. Then I am just debating on what to put inside of a Project Life spread, because that's another thing I like to do with story kits, is use them to do 1 week in my Project Life. This year I'm doing a 9x12 Project Life instead of a 12x12. And since I have not done any of those spreads yet, I'll see how many cards I'm going to need and whatnot in order to do those spreads. That'll probably take me a little bit of time until I have it down to a science, so to say. Then I also started pulling out some of the patterns and this card that says "Kindness Matters," because I want to do a spread for my son's album. And my idea is to use one of the product play ideas from Product Play 4. So in that class, Allie did this heart in the triangles lesson. And the concept of it was to take those patterns that came in the December kits, but I want to do it with the kindness kit patterns, and to cut them into triangles and arrange them into a heart. Now, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking I could make it somehow interactive, so I could add a photo and some journaling to it. And I love that these patterns are a little bit more masculine. Like they have some of those blues in them, and the reds are like burgundy reds. There is some purple in it, which is fine, and I just thought that that would make a really cool spread for a story in my son's album. So that is what I am doing here, is just debating how many of those patterns do I want to add into that particular heart, and which patterns do I want to use somewhere else? I believe I actually end up just putting most of them into the patterns for the heart. The last story that I decided on is down at the bottom. It says "Give and Receive," and then I added another of those quote cards down there, and that is going to be a story about the gift that I gave my sister-in-law for her birthday this year. She turned 30, and I got her the one little word class and product to do with it because she wants to start scrapbooking. So I wanted to talk about her getting into scrapbooking and how excited I am to have another one of my sisters on this like storytelling journey with me. So once I had all those cards figured out, the next thing I did was to break open my embellishments. When I get these kits in the mail, I like to take everything out of its packaging, pop everything, all of the chipboard out of its, out of like the negative part of it, and then to add those pieces into a divided compartment. For me, that really helps me see what I'm working with, what I have left, and just gives me an idea of shapes and sizes and that sort of thing. So when I do my story planning like this, I can take that back out and then go through and divide all of that stuff up into where I think it will go best. So that's what you see me doing here. I will leave, there's a little section that has some metal hearts that have colors in the middle of them. And those actually went to the Stories by the Month kit that came out that month. So the colors don't really match this product. So that I'm going to set to the side and add it into a different compartment at some point, or I might just see what story kit it does match and then add that product or those little hearts into that divided container. So the next thing I have to do here is to just start sketching out what I want to do. The first thing is just setting aside all of my Project Life product, which is what you see me doing there. I have a couple of cards, some felt hearts, a few chipboard embellishments, and that is pretty much it. I will also add in a sheet of the label stickers and the story stamp into that packet as well. I love sectioning my stories off into these envelopes. I love it. It lets me, when I am ready to do a project, it lets me just go and pick out that one envelope with the product that I intend to use on that one project, and really helps me with decision fatigue when I'm actually in the crafty mood. I'm in the mood to write my story and to get it down in my book with all of the stuff. So that is why I do it this way. It also, just I can put it in order of what I want to work on first or second and all that kind of stuff too. So I just love it. For this story, I am just going to do one 6x8 pocket page. It will be divided, so I'm going to add the give and receive at the bottom, put the journaling card at the top, add a photo in the other 3x4 spot, and then lightly embellish with a couple of those chipboard pieces. Next, I'm moving on to the story about May. This one, I just wrote myself some notes so I could remember it's going in her album, and I want to contact my sister-in-law and give her the assignment of sending me some journaling for her daughter. So for this one, I'm going to do a full-sized photo on the one side, and then I want to put the quote card up at the top, add the journaling card down at the bottom. And then I also stuck those 4 little heart chipboard pieces, they're just tiny little circles, into this packet. And I thought that would be a great way to add some journaling bullet points. So when I asked my sister-in-law for journaling, I just said, can you tell me 4 quick things about May that just makes you feel really happy or makes your heart happy? And so it made it a little bit easier for her too. And I also added a heart, like a felt heart, and a transparency piece that said keep growing, because that just made sense to put in a baby album to me. The next one I'm working on here is going to be the story about the unexpected kindness. So I am adding a few things. I decided to go through those like gold foil starbursts and see if any of them would pertain to this spread as well. So I'm picking out the ones that say things like random act of kindness or you made me so happy or things like that. There are also other ones that say things like be true and choose kindness and stuff like that are more, those ones felt to me like things you would say to yourself or to somebody who you are encouraging to be kind. And the ones that I chose for this spread were ones that felt more like being the recipient of kindness. So I found 5 of them that went really nicely. My idea is to do a full page photo on one side. I want to cut out this quote that says, "You can never go wrong with being kind." So like punch that into a circle or just fussy cut it into a circle, add that onto the spread. Add those starbursts onto the spread, and then to put the journaling cards on the opposite side. So one of them was a quote, which I will add to the top, and then the bottom section will be where all that journaling goes, and possibly some of those chipboard pieces. I sketch these things, and sometimes I leave room for making decisions later, but I like to give myself some options and some ideas to begin with. So next we're going to work on this heart one. My idea here is to take this heart, and this is a rough sketch. This is not, I think there are actually more triangles than that. The triangles that I end up using the heart that I end up using for this project is going to be the one from Product Play. So if this is an idea that you love and you also want to get the same exact heart in the same exact shape, it is available in that Product Play 4 class from December Daily. That class is not necessarily like only a December thing. It is called December Daily, and it does work with Christmas and December themed, themed stories, but those different ideas can totally translate off of the December Daily stuff and onto our regular storytelling as well. And this is an example of that. So my idea is to make part of that heart flip, and so I can have a photo and journaling on there as well. So all of that stuff I added into the project pocket or project envelope, and then I'm moving on to this last one, which is probably the one I'm going to do first. It's the one I'm most excited about, I think. So this is going to be a photo of me or a photo of somebody. And spoiler, it ends up being a photo of my daughter and a story that will go in her album. But when I was actually working on this, I was intending to do it for myself, which is a great option if you are looking for it's not necessarily easy, but looking for a fun way to document some stuff about yourself or some words of encouragement, that sort of thing. So I'm going to put the be kind and the stay kind. It makes you beautiful. On the one side, a little bit of journaling. I like that little chipboard piece that says choose kindness, and I think that will be a good jumping off point for some journaling, because this is about choosing to be kind to ourselves. So that is choosing kindness still. And then that is going to cover it for my projects for this kit. So we'll just add those other two things into the pocket and call that good. All right, friends, so that finishes up this project planning process video. We've got a project life spread over here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've got 5 stories that I can tell using this kit. Yes, 5. So 5 plus the 3 that I've already told and the project life. So that is a lot of stories out of this one kit. So the next thing that I will be doing is filming a separate video for you guys, putting together one of these projects today, and then you can look forward to the next couple of Fridays. I'll be putting together 3 more at the minimum, 3 more stories using this product that we have in front of me today. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you are inspired to pull out some of your story kits and discover what stories that you can tell with them. If you did enjoy this video, I would love a thumbs up down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see all of my future content. I will be back again with my next kindness story kit, and then back with some spreads later in the week. So until then, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye now.